The economy is indeed stuttering, desperately looking for breather from Governor Rajan. GDP growth slowed down from 5.7% in the first quarter of this fiscal, but analysts believe this is better than expected. The weakness was mainly pushed by the manufacturing sector, which showed near zero growth compared with a healthy 3.5% in the June quarter.
The weak GDP numbers are sure to raise a clamour for an interest rate cut. Last week, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley openly backed industry's demand for lower rates, saying that such a move will indeed lift the sentiment. Rajan, however, has been resisting the pressure, but will he finally give in when he presents a monetary policy early next week?
Growth is picking up slowly but surely. The economy is turning the corner and industrial momentum is beginning to gather some steam. India's second quarter GDP growth, though at a low of 5.3%, has surprised Street, which was expecting it at 5%. A stronger than expected growth in agriculture and green shoots of recovery in the services sector has helped the uptrend. But the slump in manufacturing is still a big concern. The services sector grew by 7.1% versus 6.3% a year ago, while agriculture growth stood at a little over 3% versus 5% a year ago, despite a poor monsoon. However, manufacturing grew by only 0.1% versus 1.3%. Experts insist industrial recovery is palpable and reforms must continue to sustain growth.
What is happening now is we're seeing some signs of industrial recovery when we look at the IIP, and I've been particularly tracking 3 or 4 core sectors which I think are important reflectors of what is happening in industry: basic metals, transportation equipment and cement. And these have, over the last 2 or 3 months, shown not a dramatic growth, but a steady growth, 7%, 8%, 9%.
The clamour for rate cut is heightening in Delhi, but experts suggest it isn't a rate cut but a reform drive that investors require.
I think there's enough evidence by now that interest rates, let's say, are not the only factor which are driving supply-side dynamics. In fact, it is the issues like land acquisition or taxation policy, or in case of power sector, availability of coal, and the whole policy around mining sector per se. So I think those are also large, big, important challenges.
A 5.3% growth in Q2 has ignited hopes of a dramatic turnaround in the second quarter. But experts insist situation on ground isn't all that rosy. New fault lines have emerged across the world in Europe and Japan, which threaten recovery. The big comfort, though, can be derived from softening crude prices, and which is why the Modi government must make hay while the sun shines and push the pedal on reforms. Fortune favors the brave, and it is time to show the bravado. Ruchi Bhatia, ET Now, New Delhi.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.